Welcome to the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. This is your go-to resource for personal growth, mastering communication, and influencing and persuasion techniques that will help you unleash the full potential of yourself and others. Here is your host, Alex Morgan.
Welcome to another episode of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. My name is Alex Morgan, and I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP. And this episode is all about why change might feel so hard and how you can really push forward, how you can break through resistance. I don't even like to think about it as breaking through resistance. I almost like to think about it as expanding. So think about that as you're sitting here listening, or whatever you're doing as you're listening. Think about how you can expand, how you can create expansion in your mind so you can have new thinking to easily and effortlessly do this. Just a short announcement before we get started. I'm really happy that this is actually the 90th episode, so only a few more and we'll be to 100. And I published my new book, The Transformative Power of Hypnosis. So this is going to be available on Kindle and paperback on Amazon, and I'll have the link in the description of the episode. So have you ever felt kind of uncomfortable or almost even frustrated when you're thinking about change? So think about a time that you wanted to create change and think about what that felt like at first. I'm sure you felt something like a small amount of uncomfort or just a bit frustrated, however that felt. And then all of a sudden you started to think, you got a little curious. You were curious. You were thinking, okay, what can I do? How can I implement something, a new way of thinking, use new resources inside of me, new skills? Or maybe I know someone who can help me create this change. And as you got more and more curious, I'm sure you felt that way before, haven't you? All of a sudden you were feeling a jolt of energy, and all of a sudden you wanted to create change, and change started to feel much easier. It didn't really feel hard anymore now, did it? And the easier it got, the more energy you felt, and you just felt like you could accomplish anything. You were totally in control of everything inside of you and everything around you. And it felt pretty amazing, didn't it? And then all of a sudden that energy turned into so much confidence, and you had so much confidence to keep going. You kept going, and you just noticed that change is easy, and you make real progress. And this helps you create new choices, new opportunities, and new possibilities in your mind. And at the same time, this confidence, it allows you to create more change. And this change compounds into more change. And if you think about it, it's almost like that uncomfortable feeling, that small amount of feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Doesn't even matter, because as soon as you get curious in the future, know that this will give you that jolt of energy, and next thing you know, you're going to be totally confident to achieve whatever it is you want. And I'm sure you can, because you're already thinking in your mind, as I told you earlier, if you let this suggestion go into your mind, that there's easy ways to expand, and you can easily think in expansion. And that is probably already happening right now. And maybe you're so motivated that you really want to listen to the whole rest of this, or maybe you feel so motivated that you want to do something right now to create change. Now, there's a few reasons why people think change is hard, and it's actually quite funny to even think about this. The reason is because your mind, your brain, the way you think, it craves comfort. So the mind is wired to feel familiar. It's wired for survival, that fight or flight response. However, most of the reasons that we had that fight or flight response that's biologically hardwired into our biology, we don't need that anymore. So really, you can actually wire your brain with transformation. And maybe I already did something that's going to help you do that, taking you from that feeling of that little uncomfort all the way to feeling totally confident. Maybe you noticed that and maybe you didn't. However, you can easily create confidence anytime that you want. So you can wire your brain, your mind. You can wire that, program your mind for transformation. You just need to think in that way. Think of expansion, like I said. The next reason is the fear of the unknown. Change, for a lot of people, they think change brings uncertainty. They think it feels really risky. However, if you think about it, when's the last time that you were uncertain about something? A lot of times when we're uncertain about something, all that means is we're learning something. Maybe we feel confused. And then all of a sudden, what does that actually mean? Well, anytime you're uncertain or anytime you're confused, that just means you're about to have a new program installed in your mind with something that you didn't even consider before, and that's the only reason that you're confused. So uncertainty, this is a good thing because that means you're about to learn something if you allow yourself to do that. So you may feel that you're going up to some resistance. However, at the same time, there's no need to feel that resistance, is there? What can you do instead? You can access the creative and intuitive part of the mind, the unconscious mind, and you can allow those learnings to go into the unconscious mind so that you can use them anytime you want in the future. And some people, they think that making changes is risky. So think about the last time that you took a risk. What kind of risk did you take? And if you notice, what was the payoff? What was the reward? And the only thing that can really happen when we take a risk, the worst thing that can happen is we gather some feedback and we're able to take a more calculated risk really in the near future because we learned so much from taking the first one. So the next risk is really going to help you create your ideal future and start to get you predictable results. The third reason is people have some sort of emotional resistance. They have doubts, they have worries, they have limiting beliefs, they have past experiences where they had growth and it felt really intimidating maybe at first. Or there's external pressures from friends, family, people around you that are discouraging change. This is why you have to be really mindful of the environment that you have around you, because the environment that's around you, if you have a bunch of people in your environment that think change is easy or they're willing to make changes, then you're going to think in the same way. It's really important too to understand with your goals, it's okay if you tell your family, your friends goals. It's okay if you tell them these goals and they tell you, you're never going to achieve that. Why are you thinking that? All that means is you have a big goal, you have a ridiculous goal, and all you need to do is design the person that you are that has achieved that goal. So think about that. Think about who do you want to be who has already changed? What are the attributes of this person? And who are the people that you're also around? So if you can think of plenty of attributes about this person, then guess what? You're not going to feel that uncomfort anymore, are you? You're going to be really, really curious actually about these attributes. And the more attributes that you think, this is going to give you that jolt of energy. And probably one of those attributes, if I had to guess, I'm not sure though, this is up to you, it can easily be confidence. So resistance can show up in different ways. Number 1, procrastination. Number 2, self-doubt and overthinking. 3, overwhelmed. And 4, self-sabotage. So a lot of times people are making changes because they're putting things off, even when they say that they want to do them. How many times have you said you're going to do something and you don't end up doing it? So your actions and your words and all of this needs to match. Or you start to question your abilities and then you hesitate to take action because you're questioning your abilities. Listen, you already have all the resources and the skills and abilities inside of you to achieve whatever it is you want. And the more that you delete those and hesitate and don't use them, the more you're going to forget about them. And unconsciously, it's almost like you're uninstalling the resources that you have in yourself because you're doubting yourself. Once you start believing in yourself, that's a way for you then to upload those programs again in your mind. Overwhelm, sometimes growth can feel like it's too much. It's like you take one step forward, then you get a bit worried and you almost want to take one step back. However, every time, if you were to look back now about all the growth that you did in the past, even if you felt a little bit of uncomfort, as soon as you got curious and you felt that jolt of energy, you can now look back confidently, knowing that that was easy. If you were to make those same steps now, it would be so easy for you. A lot of people, they make excuses, they quit, or they return to their old habits, their old program. They have those doubts and they uninstall the beliefs in themselves that they used to have, and then they don't have those anymore. It's like if someone were to say, I'm not really good at going up to people and talking to them, and I want to grow in this way. At some point during your life, you were going up to all kinds of people and talking to them. You've talked to plenty of people in your life. So there's no need to try to uninstall this program. All you need to do is build the belief in yourself to do this, and it will be installed, and talking to people will be easily done, and it'll feel natural and automatic for you. So you need to learn to push through this growth. Push through any hesitation. There's no need to put things off. There's no need to question yourself. Growth is never too much, and making excuses and quitting, that's probably the worst thing that you can do. Excuses, you have a choice. You can either choose excuses, or you can give yourself reasons why you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Excuses, a lot of times people with excuses, common one that I've been seeing lately is people will say that they're too busy. They're too busy to grow. They're too busy to take a risk. They're too busy. They have other obligations that they want to do. And this just feels like one more thing that they are having to do. Notice what I said, having to do. There's no reason that growth needs to be something that you have to do. It should be something that you want to do. And if it's something that you should do, then I think that you must do it and you can do it. And if you can, then you must. And that means that you can intend to create as much growth as you want, because it's more than possible. So there's no need to think that anything is a have to do, because you can intend to create anything that you want. So the more you step outside of your comfort zone, the more you start to think like this. Like I said, you're going to look back and nothing will even seem like it was difficult now that you look back. So anything that you have in front of you right now, know that it's easy as long as you're listening to this, putting the effort in your mind. Because the more you put the effort in your mind, the more you can achieve. And the more you achieve, there's barely ever any resistance. And when there's no resistance, you're growing easily and effortlessly. Even if you're starting small and taking tiny, manageable steps, that makes it feel so easy. And then probably after a while, you're going to start challenging yourself more and more. And this is only going to build more and more empowering beliefs inside your mind. And when you have empowering beliefs like this, that means that you're going to have people around you who encourage you, who support your transformation, and you're going to be motivated to also give people value and help them as well. And you're going to want to take so much action, even if it doesn't feel like you've done something like it before. Action is going to become so natural from you, because if you think about it, action, it's not about thinking about doing something. Action comes from doing what you're doing and doing what you want to do. Now, I do talk about putting effort in your mind. So yes, we want to put effort in our mind, and we also want to take action. If you think about it, though, how much of your success and how much of your growth is actually action, and how much is the effort you put in your mind? Now, this may surprise a lot of people, so if you really want to grow, then definitely listen to this. Action, it can be as little as 1%, because the other 99% is all the programs that you have, all your programming in your unconscious mind. This is your habits, this is your behaviors, this is your thinking, your skills, your resources, everything, your behaviors, everything that you're thinking, all the pictures in your mind and how you feel internally, the states that you're feeling, the emotions, and how you carry yourself. This is all leading to your behaviors and the actions that you take. So there's so much going on in your mind that it's such a large percent, maybe even 99%. It has to do with the results that you get or because of the effort that you put in your mind. So a lot of people, they think that growth is difficult because they're trying to do this with their conscious mind. They're trying to do this with willpower in a way that they've always done it. However, if you slow down and you use thinking time and you put effort in your mind and you start to think about how being uncomfortable doesn't even matter once you start to get curious and really put that effort in your mind, all of a sudden, you'll get little jolts of energy to take that action, and the action will seem so easy because you're so confident as you're taking that action. So consider that so much of your success is because of the effort you put in your mind. And change is natural. Change is continuous. Really, one of the only things that's going to continue happening in your reality is change. And that's a wonderful thing, because if you think about it, any decision that you made before has gotten you to this point that you're out now. So wherever you are now, you can make decisions and you can make changes to create any reality you want. And there's billions of possibilities out there. That's a wonderful thing. All your thinking, your emotions, your beliefs, your thoughts, your skills, your resources, your network, your decisions. All of this is leading you to one of these possibilities that's going to be wonderful for you. So think about it. You have billions of possibilities in front of you that are all wonderful if you think about it like this way. And growth, all these things that I talk about, this is going to give you momentum. Remember, you have momentum, and you already have momentum whether you think it or not, because I installed this in your unconscious mind a few times by taking you through different chains of emotions that are really going to help you become the better version of yourself. So really all you have to do is keep going, keep putting effort in your mind, and think that growth is easy. And I know you do, because you are an intelligent person. So you can ask yourself, what is important to you about growth? And is growth easy now? So thanks so much for listening. Wherever you are listening, definitely rate this podcast so it can get into the minds of so many others. And again, I did publish my newest book, The Transformative Power of Hypnosis. The link will be in the description of the episode, and it is available on Amazon on Kindle and paperback. So if you are interested in learning more about how you can program your mind for success, more about hypnosis and how you can use hypnosis to help yourself and others, throughout the book I take you through how to do a whole entire hypnosis session, and you can use this for yourself. And hypnosis is one of the easiest ways that I've found to grow and to create your ideal future and start to really predict the results, get predictable results in the future. So thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.